This was 1950. The Organization of Radio Free Europe gathering up-to-the-minute news, listening in on the communists' own broadcasts, talking with escapees from behind the Iron Curtain, analyzing propaganda the communists were feeding the people in their own publications. The organization of RFE had already come a long way, and as the effectiveness of its broadcasts increased, the Reds spent huge sums trying to jam reception in the captive country. But contributions from the American people permitted Radio Free Europe to build more and bigger transmitters, to develop saturation broadcasting techniques with all transmitters going at once, blasting through the curtain of jamming. When Stalin died in 1953, RFE was on the air with news of his death hours before the communist radios. After his death, communist leaders made a few uncertain promises to the captive peoples who, unfortunately, took them as signs of weakness. These are riots in East Berlin, forerunners of future uncontrolled violence in Soviet slave nations. RFE warned the people that physical violence was suicide. It called for patience and constantly reported that the free world would support whatever peaceful pressure they could bring to bear for their own freedom. Throughout these terrible years, disheartened people were escaping through the Iron Curtain by the thousands. Important people, too. I'd like you to meet one of them. Professor Korowicz, formerly professor of international law and a Polish delegate to the United Nations when he fled to freedom right in New York City. After his escape, he appeared before our Congress and broadcast a powerful message over Radio Free Europe. Professor Korowicz of Fletcher University, Massachusetts.
After my broadcast over Radio Free Europe, I was deeply moved by a letter I received from my former students in Krakow, urging me to continue to work for the freedom of Poland. The Polish people hate Russian oppression, and their struggle for complete freedom from Kremlin rule will continue.